Hey guys, Vas here from Aussie Playground and welcome to another unboxing. Today we're going to be looking at the Thunder Tiger Jackal. Now this is a 1/10 scale 4-wheel drive brushless desert buggy. Very much in line with the likes of the Vetera twin Hammers as well as the very popular Axial Yeti. Now this is actually the 4th Thunder Tiger vehicle on my channel. Over there you'll see the ST4G3 that I've had now for about 3 years, maybe even a little over that. And very recently I picked up the Thunder Tiger Bushmaster, which is the 1/8 scale buggy that you see back there. That car's actually been performing very well. In the past I've also had the EMTA G2. Videos of both of those cars, including the EMTA, are of course up on my channel if you want to go check those out as well. But today we're going to be focusing mainly on the Jackal. This is actually the first RC of this style that I've had on the channel, and I'm very much looking forward to running it. I'm going to be scouting out some new locations to see if I can really put this thing to the test. And of course I will still take it out to the BMX track and just see how it performs, just as a general basher, just a car to you know, have a bit of fun with a very unique style and a slightly different look from all the other monster trucks and buggies that I've had on the channel in the past. Now this guy does come ready to run, however it does not come with batteries or charger. You will need to supply those yourself. And it is equipped with a 3600 kV brushless motor. It is just a 540 size motor, which is pretty standard, but it should hopefully give it enough power to you know, have some fun with. It does come with a waterproof ESC, which is actually 80 amps, and it does come with a fairly standard steering servo, although it doesn't say anywhere on the servo whether or not that's waterproof, so just keep that in mind. On the other side here, you'll see that it comes with aluminium shocks, has steel gears, an adjustable slipper clutch. The receiver is actually accessible from underneath the chassis, very much like I think one of those two cars, or even both of those other two cars from Vetera and Axial have the same sort of feature. And it does have some very solid front A-arms as well, and quite a unique design in how you access your electronics, which I'll show you very soon. As a matter of fact, you can sort of see it a little bit back here. And also has a 4-link rear suspension. It appears that this guy is actually available in 2 different colors. So you have the standard sort of military kind of tan color, and there's also a bit of a darker, almost black color, if that is in fact black. The picture could be a bit deceiving. But looking at a box isn't all that much fun, so let's crack it open. We'll toss that over there and we'll have a look at the car. This is how it comes packaged in the box, so pretty well secured. We'll get rid of this cardboard, we don't need that. Toss that over there. In the back here we have the radio. Now this is a radio that I've had many times in the past. There is a binding plug in the bag as well, so make sure you don't throw the bag out and the bind plug with it. Unless of course you got a heap of them like I do, which in case it wouldn't really matter. This is the Fly Sky radio. I've had this one with my Axial Honcho. A lot of my Armour cars came with this remote. Tower Hobbies Cutback came with this remote as well, and of course now Thunder Tiger come with it as well. I have to say I'm actually happier that they've included this one as opposed to the old bulky one that they had. So kudos to Thunder Tiger for providing this. Certainly runs on 4 AA's. Plenty of range, has usual trimmings on the back here, drop down wheel. This is a great radio. Well done Thunder Tiger for changing that over and including that guy. Taking the buggy out of the box, there's also a manual on the bottom. It does come with a few little tools in here, and I'll bring this up to the camera, hopefully it will focus in for you. So you've got a couple of, got a cross wrench here, got some Allen keys. There's also some plastic bits and pieces in here as well. I think that may be to adjust maybe your toe angle on the front of the car. I'll have to look at that and see what they are all about, of course, if I do need to. And here is the main event, the car itself. I'll bring this guy up to the camera so you guys can have a bit of a better look at it. This is a very nice looking buggy. I don't mind it. The color is kind of an acquired taste, I will say. It has grown on me. When I first saw it, wasn't quite too sure on the color, but it is growing on me, and I think it suits the style of car that it is. So, not bad. I think Thunder Tiger have actually done a decent job with this one. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start on the outside and work our way in. Tires. The tires. Alright, I'm going to remain optimistic, but I've had these tires twice before. Once was on the Tower Hobbies Cutback, and most recently on the FS Racing Marauder, I can never pronounce that right. But these are the tyres that it comes with. Now, let me see if I can get the camera to focus in on, there we are. That's much better, isn't it? So that's the tyres. The wheels are actually really nice, big fan of the wheels, but I don't think these tyres are going to hold up all that well, unfortunately. At least based on the experience that I've had with those other two cars, they do struggle off-road a little bit. They're not aggressive enough. They're kind of a semi-road, semi-street tyre. They do perform okay on the street, so if you are planning on running on tarmac or just doing some speed runs, they actually do okay. But aside from that, they really do struggle. They do have a fairly softish compound. It's just the tread itself that is just not aggressive enough. But again, I'm going to remain optimistic and we'll see how it goes in this particular platform. I've had it on a short course truck. I've had it on a very similar platform with the Marauder. You know, they didn't perform too well, but that was with a brushed motor, and now I've got it on this guy, so we'll see how we go. But enough about the tyres. Let's talk about the suspension a little bit before I crack the body open. Suspension wise, I'll turn this on its side so you guys can actually see quite a fair bit of droop on the car as well, which is nice. I suppose in this style of car it comes in handy. Doesn't feel too bad. The front kind of feels, the back actually feels quite nice. The front kind of feels probably slightly under-dampened, but we'll see. I mean, again, in this style of car, this suspension setup might just be ideal. We'll see how we go. All right, let's remove the body pins now, and we'll crack this guy open, and you can have a peek inside. I'll bring it up close to the camera as well, put the pins over there, and this opens just like this. Very, very easy. So now you've got full access to your batteries. You can even do a little bit of maintenance or servicing on the car. Bringing it up close to the camera, I'll switch over to this side. That way you can all see what it looks like. Yeah. All right, so you had a nice good look at that. All right, so let's describe what we can see. I've got a 80 amp ESC mounted on top of the receiver box, which looks like that's the one there, which is accessible from underneath. You got your 3600 kV brushless motor there. There is quite a fair bit of room to grow. You've got almost about an inch clearance between the back of the motor and the back of the chassis. So if you do want to run a longer can, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Although probably wouldn't go bigger in diameter. Now this is a 36mm can, so try to stick with the 36mm motor if you do want to go something a little bigger, perhaps a little torquier. But that is just something to keep in mind, because I can see that it's kind of hard up against the transmission as it is. So going a bigger diameter can, you might struggle to fit that in, if of course you can fit it at all. Steering servo comes with these kind of like spring-loaded servo savers on the actual servo horn itself. Never really been a big fan of these types of servo savers, but depending on the RC that they're in, they may actually work okay. So we'll see how we go there. Center plastic drive shafts running from the front diff to the transmission, and then from the transmission all the way back to the rear axle that you see there. Battery is very easily accessible through the top here, as I said. The rear strap on the battery is kind of in the way when you have this flipped up. But what you can do, you can tighten up these little screws a little bit, and you can just have the lid kind of sitting up like that, and then you have access to front and rear battery straps at the same time. And the battery tray itself, I was going to say, it looks like it's you can adjust the weight bias on it, because there are a couple of adjustment screws on there. Or am I seeing things? No, it doesn't look like it is in fact adjustable. So it looks like it has a fixed position. I was going to say that you could probably move it forward or back and just adjust your weight bias a bit, but it doesn't look like that's possible unless of course you drill additional holes on the actual tray itself. Front bumper seems to be fairly sturdy, decent size as well for this type of RC. The aluminium shocks do have plastic caps on them, however they do have aluminium standoffs both on the front and rear. So something to keep in mind there. Front CVDs, very nice. Look to be about 3mm thick, so they look like they'll be okay. Not a lot of slop on these wheels either, but there is a little bit of slop in the steering. Now the steering assembly, I'll flip the car this way. So you can probably, I'll switch over to this side here so you can have a better look. So you can see the steering assembly there, and I'll move this around so you can see what moves and what doesn't. All right. It is all plastic, and of course it has these ball ends on all the links. So your toe link and camber link are all done with these ball ends. But something interesting about these ball ends is they have a different plastic. They look like they're a reinforced, maybe perhaps a carbon fiber or something along those lines. They look like they're a different color. They're kind of like a light, not a light gray, but like a grayish color. I don't know how well this is going to come up on camera here, but they're definitely a different color to the rest of the truck, or buggy rather. So pretty interesting that they've gone for something like that. Hopefully it's for the better. What else can I tell you about this particular guy? All right, let's have a look underneath the actual buggy itself. You can see it's all very smooth. Even the A-arms, excellent design on the A-arms, I have to say. Very impressed with the way they've done that. And of course they are boxed out on the top. Don't know how this will show up on camera at all, but they are sealed on the top as well. So really sturdy front A-arms. And if you notice, the hinge pin here goes all the way through. So there are no gaps on these A-arms, which is going to make them incredibly strong. You're less likely to break the A-arm and probably more likely to bend or break the hinge pin should you have a massive impact on that front end. The rear axle, my buddy Paul was over here earlier today and he had a look at this buggy, and he told me, because he had the Yeti almost a year ago now, well, a few months back, he did get rid of it, and he did say that this was a much beefier rear axle than the Yeti, and I think the AX10 as well. So very nice to hear that. Of course, I'm not too familiar with the Yeti, I've never had one, but it's good to hear that from him, that the Thunder Tiger have actually gone one up on the Yeti, which is nice. Of course, very beefy links, these trailing links that you see back here, very nice and strong. They seem like they're going to do the job just fine. And an interesting thing about this axle as well, I'll bring this up close to the camera. Got to switch over to this side, sorry, just so that the light can hit it. You see that there's a little bit of an adjustment here. It's almost as if they may be able to use this for a front axle at some point. So who knows, maybe Thunder Tiger is secretly working on a new RC. Something that has a solid front axle as well. You never know. Spare tire is a authentic or real spare tire. By that I mean that you can take it out and swap it out with one of your other ones. Say for example, if you break a wheel or one of the tires comes unglued or something like that, you got the option of changing out that spare. Because to be honest with you, I can't think of too many excuses that would prompt you to use that spare tire. In most cases, I don't think you'd need to. The body itself is Lexan, and it looks as though it comes in looks like 3 separate parts. So you've got your roof, you've got the front bit that goes all the way around, and then you've got the rear section as well. So obviously they've split the body in the middle just so that you can open this up this way. What else is there for me to tell you? You do have an aluminium hinge pin on the front of the front A-arms. And of course everything is hex hardware as well, which is very nice. The plastics feel really good, they feel solid. Nothing about this feels cheap in any way. To be honest with you, the roll cage and everything, it feels like they've done a really good job. It looks as though Thunder Tiger have done a bit of homework on this guy, and I'm actually happy to have something like this. It really has set a bit of a standard for me. And should I get any more RCs that are in this style, well, you know, at least I'll be able to kind of make a decent comparison. But from what I've seen, just for the RC, for what it is, the components, the quality of the build, suspension setup out of the box, how the car comes equipped, I have to say I'm actually, you know, pretty happy. I really don't have any real complaints about this, aside from the tires. I kind of wish they've gone for a different tire. The wheels are a short course style wheel, so larger inner diameter with a smaller outer diameter. And in case you're wondering, this is in fact the same size as a 1/8 scale buggy, or even a short course truck. So it has the same width and length as a standard 1/8 scale buggy or short course truck, as I said. So although it is 1/10 scale, and I know that it's not as big as the Yeti, the Yeti is a little bit oversized, it's a bit longer and a bit wider. This is very much, you know, based on the 1/10 scale platform and wheelbase, which I think is good to see, because you know that you're going to be able to, you know, use standard wheels. You can swap these out for pretty much anything that you like. I did see that the rear has aluminium hexes already in there, which is great. I'm assuming the fronts would have aluminium hexes as well. These are 12mm hexes, of course. So there's an abundance of different tyre choices and wheel choices you can go for. I think I'm going to leave this one here, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing. Hopefully there was some useful information here for you. Yeah, you like the car. You like this, you know, new Thunder Tiger vehicle, the Jackal. Very much looking forward to running this guy, giving you a bunch of running videos, and of course following up later on down the line with a review. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. That'll keep you updated with all the videos that are coming up. And of course you can go check out the backlog of videos that I've got on the channel already. There's over 300 videos for you guys to check out. Don't forget to check out the video description as well. I'll have more information on the Jackal, as well as a link to my Facebook page, which of course, as always, will keep you a couple of steps ahead of what goes on here on YouTube. That is it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will speak to you next time.